Hi there, YouTube, Instagram family, Facebook family. Tanika Maria here, coming out here on today just to share some nuggets. I've been meditating on this thing about unfinished business. And we all have our own unfinished business. And a lot of our unfinished business is emotional clutter, psychological clutter, drag. It's the stuff that is taking up attention in our head, it's in our spirits, it's in our emotions. It's taking up time and space and energy. When we have unfinished business, stuff that's lingering and lurking in the background of our mind and in our hearts and in our spirits, it creates sort of a drag. It creates this clutter. It's stuff that's piled up on the inside and it manifests on the outside. And what does it do? It causes procrastination and it keeps us in a state of inertia. When we have unfinished emotional business. And this is why closure is so important. This is why getting your own completion is so important, because it's like it keeps you, when you have a lot of stuff in the background of your life that you haven't dealt with, a lot of loose ends, a lot of words that have not been spoken, apologies never said, I love yous that have never been said. It creates this limbo. It creates a procrastination. It causes inertia. And a lot of us are stuck in this place of atrophy and inertia because we're not making the movement to clean up. We're not making the movement to clear away that psychological drag, that emotional clutter. And one of the main things that could cause that clutter and chaos on the inside? Broken relationships. Relationships where we have not finished our emotional business. Relationships where we still have unresolved pain. Relationships where we still are holding on to a little grudge. We still have that little spot of resentment in our hearts. And so when we're like this, it takes up mental space and emotional space on the inside, and it keeps hanging over our heads, lurking in the background of our lives. And does this sound familiar to you? So real quick, let me give you some examples and some tips or rather signs that you have unfinished emotional business. Number one, if you're putting off making that difficult phone call or confronting a particular situation, that's a sign. If you're feeling bad because you need to apologize and you're feeling a little feeling there, but you still haven't done it yet and now it's too late. That's clutter. That's unfinished business. If you're having regret about any past behavior and you keep, sort of glossing over it and pushing it to the side, but you know that you regret some things that you've done or said, without fully releasing that, asking for forgiveness, if you can't do it with that other person, at least to God, that is emotional clutter. That is clutter for you. That is unfinished business. If you're a person, and I think entrepreneurs and people in ministry, I think we're guilty of this, jumping from project to project, idea to idea, relationship to relationship. We're jumping from thing to thing. God gave me this and that and this, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And you never finish it. You start something and then don't finish it. You start this thing and don't finish it. You start that project, this relationship, this connection, and you never bring it to completion. It's creating drag. It's creating unfinished business, emotionally, spiritually, materially, in all of these different areas. Every time you're jumping from thing to thing, relationship to relationship, project to project, you're creating clutter. You're creating unfinished business. And lastly, and of course, as you know, you guys have been hearing me talk about, when you end a relationship and you have not fully processed that relationship and there are unspoken words, there's still some pain, there's still a soul tie there, and yet you go run and jump into another relationship, that is a very high, profound example of unfinished business. And that definitely creates more emotional clutter in our lives. So I want you to remember, like attracts like. So if you're a person that has a lot of unfinished business, a lot of incompletes, you failed to complete, failed to come to closure, failed to heal, failed to really show up and let's deal with this, then you're going to attract people, situations, and circumstances that are also unfinished. Like attracts like. And so you can't keep living like this. I can't. And so it's time for us to learn how to get closure. It's time for closure on these things, and to get the clarity, the closure, and the completion we need to move forward in life without that drag, without that unfinished business. And so I welcome you. I want to extend an invitation to you to come join me on my closure class. You can see the link in my bio or link here in the text of this video about how you can sign up for it. It's February 25th, 7:00 p.m. Eastern Time, absolutely free. And I will be just diving deep in what you need to do to get the closure and the clarity you need now, especially in a relationship dynamic where you can feel better, move forward, bounce back better. It's all about getting real, being healed, and moving forward. And you cannot move forward with a lot of unfinished emotional business. So I encourage you to register for this class. Get in while you can. Seats are limited. I'm right here with you in the journey. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.